The honeyed tart glistened on the silver platter, his mother's specialty. Lien bit into the golden crust without a second thought.
Sweet, then acrid, bitter. A poison, I know, but not one I've tasted before.
He forced his expression into a placid mask, bowing slightly to the king as his insides recoiled.
Your Majesty, forgive me. A sudden indisposition, I must withdraw.
Go then. You look ashen. Don't return until you've recovered.
He staggered into the cold stone corridor, one hand against the wall, and let his body purge the venom, acid and honey and hemlock, the taste of betrayal mixed with the familiar sweetness of home.
That tart, the glaze, the pinch of cinnamon, it was hers. Mother, the poison was baked into the dough. She tried to kill the king. She poisoned me.
When the palace fell silent that night, Lien rose with only one destination in mind, the hidden warmth of the palace kitchens. He descended the stone steps into the familiar scent of flour and fire. His mother stood at the hearth, kneading dough with steady hands.
I know what you put in the tart, Mother. I tasted it.
And you purged it. Clever boy. I taught you too well.
You admit it? No guilt? No tears?
Guilt? The king butchered our village, starved your father to death. I've been waiting 20 years for this.
You fed me poison for months. You made me your blade.
The toxin works slowly. In 3 days, without the antidote, your lungs will stop. That was never meant for you, but you are the taster now.
Give me the antidote. If you have any love left.
The king dies first. Only then will I hand it over. If you value your life, don't interfere.
He staggered backward, the warmth of the kitchen turned to ice. Outside, the corridor stretched before him like a scaffold. He stumbled through the dark corridors, each step heavier than the last, until his cramped chamber swallowed him.
She shaped the poison with the same hands that once brushed flour from my cheek. Every tart was a lie.
He saw his father then, not as the strong farmer from stories, but as a gaunt figure in a field of ash, eyes hollow before the famine took him.
Mother held me as he died, whispering that one day justice would come. She never said I would be the price.
A sudden lance of pain split his temples, sharp and cold. He pressed both palms to his skull, his breath ragged.
It's starting. 3 days. Will the pain even let me think straight?
His mind fled to a warmer kitchen, years ago, her hands over his small ones, the scent of honey and laughter.
Was any of it real? That laugh, was she already planning to use me as the perfect taster?
His hands began to tremble, faint but uncontrollable. He clenched them until his nails bit his palms, but the tremor only deepened.
I am dying, and I must choose. Die a loyal son, or live as a traitor to everyone.
Dawn bled through the high windows as Lien took his place before the royal table. A simple porridge waited. No tarts. He tasted without hope. The king lifted his spoon, then paused, studying Lien's face with narrowed eyes.
You look worse than I do. Taster. Hollowed out. Is the food so deadly?
A restless night, Majesty. Nothing more.
Later, the physician arrived, her satchel clinking with vials. She bent over the king's bed with a frown that Lien knew too well.
Your breath is shallow, Majesty. These recurrent chills, they don't match any natural fever.
Her gaze sharpened. She murmured about irregular pulses and ordered a thorough analysis of all food.
You suspect poison?
I suspect we should be certain. I'll test every dish, every ingredient.
Lien stood frozen outside the door, the corridor spinning. The net was closing, and he still held nothing but a slow death in his veins. That night, Lien crept to the physician's study. The lock resisted. His hands were no longer steady.
Every hinge groans. The guard's footsteps echo closer. Find the journal. Now.
Her desk was a chaos of samples and diagrams, with a leather journal open near the lamp.
Alkaloid from local herbs. Pastry dough. Taster exhibits tremor, respiratory decline. She's mapped my own death. If she sees me now, I am a living exhibit.
He tore out the incriminating pages and stuffed them into his tunic.
Stealing the notes might buy a day. Or it's the final proof she needs to lock me up.
A guard's cough sent him melting into the shadows. He waited, breathless, then slipped away, in his room by candle stub. He read the elegant script. Tomorrow, a full-blood screening.
They'll find the same poison in my veins. An unwitting confession. I have to stop Mother before dawn.
Before dawn, Leon burst into the kitchen. She was already at the hearth, her hands steady on the rolling pin.
The physician knows. By tonight, my blood will scream the truth. Give me the antidote, Mother. I am not the enemy.
Enemy? You were never the enemy. You were the vessel. I fed you trace amounts since childhood, so you could survive the poison, so you could be my taster.
You built tolerance in me? Every sweet bun, every bedtime cup, was it all poison?
Until your body learned to mask the signs. I needed you alive and in the palace, the perfect shield. I never expected you would become the cost.
You used me. From the moment I could hold a spoon, you were turning me into a weapon.
I used death to prepare you. For 20 years I waited. The day you became the royal taster, I wept not from pride, but because the final act had begun.
No more. I'll confess everything. Let the throne execute us both. At least we end the cycle.
Confess, and the king will torture you for my name. Then kill us both. Stay silent, and the antidote waits only for his final breath. You have no good choice.
She turned back to the dough, dismissing him. Leon's legs carried him into the corridor, but the tremor in his hands had become a constant. Leon waited until the kitchen was empty, then tore through cupboards and flour bins. No vial, no antidote, only ingredients for more death.
She hides it well. Every crumb here is a weapon, and I can't disarm any of it.
In desperation, he scrawled an anonymous warning. The tart holds venom. Test the baker. He slipped the note under the king's chamber door. The note never reached the king. A guard found it, raised the alarm, and within the hour every corridor bristled with steel.
Idiot. Now they'll search the kitchens. Mother's next batch will be seized. Or she'll be caught. I made it worse.
By morning, the royal guard had doubled. Every servant was searched. Lien felt their eyes on his trembling hands.
They're watching me. The physician will have my blood sample soon. Time is bleeding out.
His mother sent word through a kitchen boy. The final tart would be served at sunset. She offered no comfort, only a deadline.
Sunset. She's forcing my hand. If I don't stop her, the king dies tonight. If I do, I sign her death warrant.
He stood at the window, watching the sun climb. Every heartbeat pressed the poison deeper. There was no clean path left. Under heavy guard, the evening meal proceeded. Leon watched the king lift a honeyed tart to his lips.
She said sunset. This tart came hours early. She's forcing my hand.
The king bit, chewed, then froze. He pitched forward with a crash, choking.
The same toxin. He's weaker. He won't last the hour.
The physician burst in, knelt beside the king, then snatched the half-eaten tart. She sniffed it sharply.
This tart, the crust is laced. I need to test the dough immediately. Seal the kitchens.
She'll find Mother. My blood will confirm everything. I have to reach the kitchen before the guards.
Leon pushed forward, but his legs buckled. He caught himself on a pillar, vision spinning.
No time to collapse. If I don't move now, Mother will be executed before midnight.
He slipped through a service door, leaving chaos behind. This night would end in blood. Leon stumbled into the silent kitchen. On the wooden table, a tray of fresh tarts, golden and deadly, waited to be served.
One sweep of my arm and the poison ends. No more tarts. No more death.
His trembling hands gripped the tray's edge, but a voice from the shadows stopped him cold.
You won't destroy what I've built. Put the tray down, Leon.
Number. I won't let you kill him. This ends tonight, Mother.
If the king lives, the kingdom learns the poison was in his food. They will hang me, and you with me. Is that your justice?
Then, we die together. At least I won't be your pawn anymore. You love revenge more than your own son.
I love you enough to let you hate me, but the tarts stay.
She wrenched the tray from his grasp. His weakened arms offered no resistance. The tarts wobbled but held.
The poison stays. She's chosen her war, and I am just another casualty.
Lian fled the kitchen and stumbled to the physician's study. The door was ajar. She still worked by lamplight, testing crumbs from the poisoned tart.
You, the taster. You look worse than the king. Show me your hands now.
She seized his wrist, pressed his fingertips. The tremor she'd noted in the king pulsed under her own.
Alkaloid, poisoning, advanced stage. This is the same toxin. You've been dosed for days, maybe weeks. Who is the baker?
My mother. But please, the poison isn't her fault. It's mine. I let it happen.
Your mother? The palace baker. What possible reason could she have to murder the king through you?
20 years of hate. The king burned her village, starved my father. She made me a weapon without telling me.
You've been a shield for regicide, and now you come to me. Why? To beg for an antidote? To save yourself?
I came because I don't want to die a murderer. Save the king. Do whatever you want with me. Just stop her.
The physician set down her vial, her eyes unreadable. She'd found the truth, and now she held 2 lives in her hands. The physician rose and summoned 12 guards. They marched to the kitchen in grim silence, torches cutting the dark.
So the physician found her courage. I wondered how long it would take.
They seized her as she slid a tray from the oven. The tarts clattered to the stone. Golden steaming, damning.
The baker. The very bread I break has been poisoned for months. I'll have her head before dawn.
Lian forced himself to his feet, but guards blocked him. His confession had saved no one.
Please stop. She was avenging our family. The king is a murderer, too.
Silence. You'll die beside her for allowing this treason. Take them both to the dungeons.
Lian's legs gave way. His body, hollowed by poison, crumpled onto the cold stone. Guards dragged him through the damp corridor, past his mother's cell. Their eyes met for a heartbeat before the darkness swallowed him. The physician stood alone in the empty kitchen, staring at the scattered tarts. The poison had claimed its first victory. The king descended to the dungeons. His own breath a wet rasp. He wanted to see the traitors who had fed him death.
You, baker. Every meal I've consumed has been your war. Look at me. I am rotting from your spite.
Rotting suits you, Majesty. You've been a corpse wearing a crown since the day you burned my village.
Then watch your son die slowly in his own cell, unless he denounces you before the court. Publicly, loudly. I have a single dose of antidote. Yours, taster, if you spit on your mother's name and call her a murderer in front of the whole kingdom.
You'd have me trade her life for mine in front of a mob? Number, I won't be your puppet.
Then you'll feel the rack. Your mother will watch. Perhaps one of you will break before the poison does.
Touch him, and I'll curse your last breath. You'll die choking on your own guilt, if you have any left.
The king spat at the bars and turned away, his guards lighting the corridor with flames. The clang of iron echoed.
He's become the monster she always said he was, and I have nothing left but the truth.
In the mother's hidden journal, the physician found the precise formula, a single dose of antidote, using the same rare herbs. She could brew only one.
1 dose. 2 dying men. This is a death sentence with a delay.
She worked through dawn, crushing petals, measuring drops. By sunrise, a single dose shimmered in a crystal vial.
The baker's journal held the antidote, but the herbs are spent. I can save 1 life.
Then, save the king. I've already been a tool for death. Don't let it spread.
You understand this means you will die? The king may not even thank you.
Thank me? He'll probably execute my mother anyway. But at least I won't be a murderer.
Lian took the vial, his hand steady for the first time, and followed the physician to the royal bedchamber. The king lay gray and still. The physician tilted his head, dripped the antidote between his lips. His chest rose slowly.
He'll live, and I'll die. Let my mother see that I chose light over vengeance.
The king's eyes fluttered open, filled not with gratitude but with cold calculation. He propped himself on silken pillows and fixed his gaze on Lian.
You gave me the antidote yourself. Foolish child, did you think mercy would breed mercy?
I gave you your life. All I ask is her exile, not death. She acted from the wounds you carved into her.
Her wounds. She poisoned the crown. She turned my own taster into a weapon. Tomorrow at dawn, she will kneel at the block, and you will stand in the front row.
Leon's knees buckled, not from poison, but from the weight of his mistake. He had saved a monster.
Take him back to his cell. Let him hear the axe being sharpened. Maybe he'll repent for loving a traitor.
As they dragged Leanne past his mother's cell, her hands pressed against the bars, no tears, only silent fury.
I gave him back his life, and he's using it to destroy us. Never again.
In the black hours before dawn, a new thought crystallized. If the law protected a tyrant, then the law had to break. Outside, the distant ring of stone on steel marked the executioner's work. Dawn approached like a blade. The physician slipped into Leon's cell, a forged parchment hidden in her robes. She whispered of a second plot, a foreign agent.
The king's paranoia can be our ally. If I plant seeds of a foreign assassin, he might delay the execution to investigate.
But the king, raw from poison, saw only another threat. He summoned the court and, with a trembling voice, decreed the execution would proceed at dawn.
No more delays. Every hour she breathes is an hour my enemies laugh. She dies tomorrow, and her son will watch.
The ruse had bought nothing. Leon felt the walls closing. That night he begged the guards, and they allowed one last visit. In the dim cell, she sat still as stone, her eyes hollow. But when she saw him, something softened.
Mother, I am so sorry. I tried to choose the light, but it only fed the darkness. I failed you.
You were never the darkness, my son. I put that burden on you. I love you more than my own breath.
She reached through the bars, her worn hand cupping his cheek. For the first time, they wept together, not for the past, but for the love that survived. When the guard pulled him away, she pressed her locket into his palm. Carry me with you. Whatever comes tomorrow, know that I am already free. Dawn was mere hours away.
A shard of bone from last night's gruel. One strike, and the king dies before dawn.
The physician's hand closed over his, stilling the crude weapon.
Regicide would plunge the kingdom into chaos. The people would see your mother as a monster, and you her pawn.
Then what? Let her die while I watch.
He pulled out a scrap of parchment and began to write. His hand, for once, was steady.
I poisoned the king. I forced my mother's hand. Let this lie save her life.
You'll be branded a traitor. They'll execute you without a second thought.
I know, but she'll be alive.
At the execution ground, before the crowd, Leon would proclaim his guilt. The only truth that mattered was his mother's life.
Tomorrow I die for a lie, but at least I won't be a murderer.
The gray dawn broke over the execution ground. A restless crowd pressed against the barricades as the king, pale but standing, took his place on the dais.
Let this be a lesson to all who poison a king. The traitor baker will lose her head, and her son will watch.
The executioner forced the mother to her knees. She did not struggle. Her eyes found Leanne's, holding a love that needed no words. The axe rose, catching the pale light. A collective breath held. And then, Leon's voice shattered the silence.
Stop! I poisoned the king. The tarts were my design. My mother is innocent of everything.
No, he's lying. I am the poisoner, not him. Spare my son.
The crowd erupted. Guards seized Leanne, but his voice still carried. I forced her to bake. I threatened her. Kill me, and let her go.
Silence. You are both traitors. Prepare the second axe. They will die together.
The physician pushed through the crowd. A sheaf of parchments clutched to her chest. Her face was pale, but her voice was steel.
Wait, before you swing the axe, there is something this court must hear.
The physician thrust the parchments into the air. The crowd went silent. Every eye turned from the axe to the small woman with steel in her voice.
These are royal orders, sealed by his own hand. Orders to burn villages, to poison wells, to starve entire provinces. The king is a mass murderer.
Gasps rippled through the assembly. Some reached for the documents. Others stared at their king with dawning horror.
Lies, forgeries, guards, seize that witch and tear those papers apart.
But the guards did not move. One by one, they looked away, their spears lowering. The crowd's murmur rose to a roar.
Here is the census of the dead. Here is his plan to poison a rival duke. Your Majesty, you have no crown worth serving.
Lien watched, his chest heaving. His mother, still on her knees, wept not for herself, but for the proof that her hatred had been true.
I am your king. I'll kill every last.
Before he could finish, a soldier pulled the crown from his head. The mob surged, and the tyrant was dragged from the dais into the chaos below. Someone cut Lien's bonds. He stumbled to his mother, collapsing at her feet. The poison still coiled in his veins, but for this moment they were free. Lien's strength ebbed. He slumped into his mother's arms, his breath a shallow rattle.
Physician, you saved the king. Save my son. There must be something, anything.
The physician knelt beside them, her skilled hands pressing his pulse. Her face fell.
The antidote required the king's blood-sampled herbs. With him overthrown, there's none left. His body has endured too much. I can do nothing.
Lien's trembling hand found his mother's cheek. He smiled, a ghost of the boy who once learned to bake at her side.
Don't cry. I chose this. I chose you. Tell me, you are proud of me.
I was always proud from the moment you drew breath. You are the light I never deserved. Stay with me, please.
But the poison had no mercy. With a final soft exhale, Lien's hand fell away. The crowd's roar faded into a mournful silence.
He saved a kingdom and a mother tonight. Let no one forget his name.
And as the sun broke over the broken throne, the baker wept for the son who had tasted death and found it sweeter than betrayal. By midday, a provisional council gathered in the grand hall, the physician at its head. The baker knelt before them, Lien's body cradled beside her.
I baked poison into every royal tart. I used my own son as my taster. There is no defense I can offer, only the truth. I asked for no mercy, and I expect none. But I beg you, let Lien be remembered as the one who stopped me, not as my accomplice.
The council has examined the evidence, the king's crimes and your vengeance. Lien's sacrifice has bought you this gift, exile, not execution. You will leave the palace tonight and never return. Take your son with you and bury him beyond these walls. His name will be honored.
Thank you for letting us leave together.
As dusk gathered, the baker lifted her son in her arms, his weight nothing compared to the years of grief. She walked through the silent palace gates without looking back. The crowd parted, some weeping, others too stunned to speak. The taster who had consumed death to save a kingdom now rested in his mother's arms for the final time. Above, a lone crow circled, its shadow passing over the broken crown, abandoned on the execution ground. And in the empty palace kitchen, the hearth was cold, but a single tart remained, uneaten, a testament to love and the poison it can bear. Far from the palace, beneath an ancient oak, the mother stopped. She laid Lien gently on a bed of moss.
You are home, Lien. No more courts, no more poison, only the earth and the sky.
She remembered a small kitchen, flour on his nose, his laughter bright as honey.
Gently, my love. Press the dough with your palms, not your fists.
Like this, Mama? The tart will be sweet enough for the whole world.
She dug with her bare hands through the night, carving a resting place from the hard soil.
I'll stay here with you. The sun will warm your stone, and I will tend the wild flowers.
At dawn, she placed a single honeyed tart on the fresh mound. Golden, untouched, an offering.
No more poison, just the sweetness you deserved.
And in that quiet grove, the baker sat beside her son, the cycles of vengeance finally still. The palace kitchen stood as a grave, silent, cold, the hearth long dead. On the wooden table, a single tart remained. Its glaze had hardened. Its flaky crust had not been broken. No footsteps echoed. No fire burned. Only the slow drift of dust in the morning light. That same tart had once carried the sweetness of a mother's love and the bitterness of a kingdom's poison. In the throne room, a crown rested on cushions, waiting for a head that would never be worthy. Outside, a crow perched on a crooked branch, its eye fixed on the empty palace. Some poisons can be purged. Others, those baked into memory, linger long after the last crumb is gone. Lien had tasted them all. Hemlock, honey, grief, and the fierce love that drove his mother to murder. And when the dust settled on the tart, It was not just a pastry. It was a testament to what happens when love turns to vengeance. So the kitchen stayed empty, the tart uneaten, and the silence held the truth that some stories are too bitter to be sweet, but must be remembered.